Så då var det dags för vår andra talare på innovationsscenen. Ja, var det högt där? Jag kan lugna ner mig lite. Då har vi Frank Oestergaard från IBM som kommer tala för oss. Så varsågod.
Thank you. So, jeg har fødselsdag i dag. Forstår I det? It's my birthday, so you have to. So, I think I would do this in English just to avoid any kind of issues understanding me. Yeah, that would be interesting. We have a rough ride ahead of us. A lot of material I want to introduce to you, but of course, you know, if you're interested following up on this and have discussion on some of the stuff, we are just outside the door for the rest of the day. So I'm going to talk about reinventing customer experience for growth, give you kind of our perspective, and I will be showing you a couple of videos, kind of giving you some visions and ideas about what's going on in this space, right? So I'm heading up the IBM Commerce unit, and hello, I'm still here. Okay, good. So from IBM, we are addressing three elements of our strategy, which is really data, it's cloud, and it's engagement, underpinned with security as an element around this. In the context of what we're discussing today, we put security aside, but that's of course very important from a privacy point of view and so on. But today is really the convergence around data, data-driven, new engagement with client, understanding customers, deep insights, and delivering that with the scale of cloud. It's when these three elements comes together that we can really transform and do very powerful things for our business, right? The things I'm going to talk about today is really a little bit about our beliefs. You could say what we are seeing in the market right now from a market shift point of view, and then I will talk about three strategies. There's actually four, but I will forget about one of them today and talk about three strategies that we see which is really driving this new customer experience, and then innovate around, you could say, the execution of this. So that's what I'm going to cover. IBM has something called an Institute for Business Value. You can all download a lot of that material on your iPads or Androids or what you have. You could basically go into Google Play or the App Store and search for an app called IBV with a single V, Institute for Business Value. And you will get a lot of industry material, a lot of very interesting material around studies around CXO and what they are believing. The reason why I'm mentioning this is what we are seeing is we have done this reports and research since 2004, and when we kind of put all that history and insights together, we are seeing that there's a new trend which we call the customer activated enterprise. And if we look a little bit about that and the market shift we are seeing, what is driving the business strategies out there today? You know, there's a lot of people doing that. Of course, the C-suites, the board of directors, you know, different kind of strategy functions in the corporation. But actually, what is happening right now and what you're seeing with a lot of the disruptive companies coming to our world these days, born on the web or what they are, you know, customer has a very big impact on driving that strategy and very customer focused. So this is one of the elements that we are seeing constantly. The other thing that these reports tell us is that all of us in this room, or at least 90% of us, so I don't guess what the 10% is, but 90% of us, when we engage either personal, you know, in the private or professional scene, we expect companies to engage with us in a personal manner, you could say, and really deliver that personalized experience. The issue is, or the gap out there is that only 32 of the companies really believe that they can actually deliver that effectively and engage with their customers in this way. Another interesting observation is if you talk to the CEO, 80% of them think they deliver ultimate best service with their customers, you could say, but if you go and talk to their customers, 8% of their customers really agree. So there's a big gap around this, and there's a lot of challenges driving that strategy. So fundamentally, some of our belief is that this thing is leading us to thinking about that B2B and B2C is dead, and it's really around how do we interact human to human, And then that kind of leads us to the belief that experience is the new competitive battleground as a company. So what are we experiencing, what are we feeling, the emotional things and all that stuff coming together. So when we meet customers that don't, or you could say companies who don't know me, are not connecting to us, make things too hard, we will swap and go somewhere else. No surprise, I think, to most of us. And we are very quickly making that judgment and deciding if we should do that. Another way of saying this is one of our leaders in our global company who's really working with a lot of this, heading up our interactive experience team. He says that basically the best experience we get out there, our experience will become, you could say, our expectation going forward. So that will kind of be the next things that we would expect, you could say, from anyone or anywhere. This goes across industries, so if we experience that in one industry, we'll expect that come from another industry. Same with countries, if we go from one country, so this is a global phenomenon, right? So what is that leading us to? It leads us to the fact that design is very fundamental, and I'll come a little bit about a view around design. Experience do matter, and basically what our punchline around this is really moments matters. So this is not just about serving clients on one channel, it's around creating that experience across all the interaction points we have with the customer. And how do we do that? That is driven through data, really transcending that experience across channel and understanding that client, what do they expect, how should we, you could say, engage with them. So the importance of design around this is one of the things. You all know this guy. I'm using one of his devices up here. You know, we have a strategic cooperation with Apple these days. I'm not sure whether you're aware of this, but I've never read a manual around this device. I never read a manual around my iPhone. I may have learned some of the more advanced features from some of my good friends who have learned me, some of these things, but I never read a manual. So the experience is not how it looks, of course that is important, but it's really how it works. And that is really the fundamental thing about when we talk about that experience, how do we create that? So this is not an experience, right? This is key, the coffee machine, this is an experience. How do we create that moment that really matter for this person? So how do we do this? We do it through dealing with people in context. We need a platform which can basically take all the interaction points, whether it's on the social media, whether it's location-based services, taking all these insights and knowledge that we can gather around the person we are, you could say, interacting with, and creating that experience in context. That is a key thing, creating that platform. So 3 strategies to do this that is driving this. One is really driving these experiences through data and understanding that. But what is data in this context? Data is really, a lot of us have traditional, you could say, CRM data, transaction data around the customer. They are VP of this company, they have this age, which is my age, and so on, where they may have bought something. But what is maybe much more interesting about me as a person is that I may have done something the last week or the last 2 weeks, reading some specific blogs, downloaded some white paper about a topic, and so on. So it's more interesting to understand, you could say, the behavior of the person and the interaction of this person. And how do we create that, you could say, understanding of this person and create it. IBM works with us, and the way we do that is through what we call persona insights. So we kind of are capable of, through the whole life cycle and continuous engagement with client, to build that deep understanding of the person. There's a lot of very advanced technologies into this. Also understanding, the more soft things around emotions, you could say, the things we value very highly, whether it's, you could say, things like environment or something like that. So this is some of the things we are doing here. You may have seen the pop-up there. I don't know whether you see it. I'm having birthdays, so maybe there will be a lot. The other thing we are seeing is that we need to extend into the physical environment and create, you could say, extend these digital experiences into the physical world. This is a very hot topic that we're seeing right now. I'm going to show you a video which we actually built for a customer of us, which is kind of setting the vision about how you can create that next vision. Right.
Get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, gotta find a light to follow. And if you do, you have a future real bright. And it's a combination of consistency. Come on and sing, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. With another sunrise, it's a brand new day, so gonna make a little list to keep the worries away. I gotta dance just a little bit, move to be free. Keep my head up, don't forget to be me. Like I won $1 million, like I get to pay dirt. Gonna smile from ear to ear, the kind that makes your face hurt. And we'll laugh, jump, sing loud, not afraid to shout about being happy, living it out. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, gotta find a light to follow. And if you do, you have a future real bright. And it's a combination of consistency. Come on and sing, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. 1, 2, 3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. Gonna shine like a good. Do it right. Gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look at the sky with all the beautiful color. Not just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, gotta find a light to follow. And if you do, you have a future real bright. And it's a combination of consistency. Come on and sing, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. With another sunrise, it's a brand new day, so gonna make a little list to keep the worries away. I gotta dance just a little bit, move to be free. Keep my head up, don't forget to be me. Like I won $1 million, like I get to pay dirt. Gonna smile from ear to ear, the kind that makes your face hurt. And we'll laugh, jump, sing loud, not afraid to shout about being happy, living it out. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, gotta find a light to follow. And if you do, you have a future real bright. And it's a combination of consistency. Come on and sing, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, oh, oh,
Okay, I think you get the picture about how we're really taking the digital experience into the physical store here. The third strategy I will talk about is really how you use digital to enhance personal engagement. The example I'm using here is Wimbledon. I hope a lot of you is acquainted with tennis. I know it's a big sport in Sweden. So basically IBM has been working a lot with the Wimbledon over the time. And the challenge, you could say, we have is really that there's a number of people who could be on the stadium having the intimate, you could say, experience around that. But there's a lot of people around the world who want to follow that event through TVs and all kinds of channels. So what we basically did was to really take the digital experience around the Wimbledon to the next level, and basically do that through, you could say, allowing people and make content you could say available, or you could say wherever and whenever. We did a lot of you could say mobile experiences, so you can engage with the event through the mobile and get access to data. A lot of us these days, when we watch matches and see TV, you know, we will have a second screen sitting on our knee, you know, an iPad or something like that. So actually here we did a slam tracker app where you're allowed to follow and get insights around how the player is playing. So we did 8 years of, you could say, statistic around that specific player and the other player, and that gave you a lot of insights about, you know, if they is playing this way with the real-time event and analytics, you know, the outcome of the match may actually be this. The other thing we did was we drove an experience where the hill and the world could actually, you could say, bet and comment and discuss what will be the outcome of the match. So you see the picture of the hill, you can see the heat map of the people who are online, and you can have a lot of social engagement and connection around these people and see what the hill is saying and what the world is saying around the match, who will win the match on ongoing. To do that, we created a social command center for the business, you could say, where you can listen, you can understand, and you can engage, deepening the relationship around this. So this, you know, sport is very good. You know, sport is first of all a very big business, but a lot of this stuff you can relate directly into a lot of business schemes, right? So let's see how this play out. And it's not as long as the other one. So here you saw the three elements: data, really real-time data, or some of our technology people call it real-time data. You saw a cloud, you know, using that to broadcast and make all the data available, and you saw the whole engagement around social and mobile and so on, right? So basically what we have covered now in summary is, you know, really experiences through data, driven through data, the extent into the physical environment and how we create and bring digital to life in the physical world, and then how you really use digital to drive that personal experience and engagement. Right. IBM has a full platform which really addresses the three elements which is key to do that. at all touch points around understanding customers, personalized engagement, omni-channel, and really optimizing also the operation beneath that. So that's really, you could say, a full platform, all driven by data as such, right? The other thing I want to say to you is that I've been working with this area since the mid-90s, and what I'm seeing right now in the market is there's a new, you could say, generation of commerce or engagement, customer experiences being created. It's very much driven by new things like all the wearables that is coming out, Apple with the new watches and all that. Maybe we're seeing people getting things operated into their body, is what I learned the other day as well, and cognitive computing and a lot of things around that, generating that new experience. So come and talk to us about that, but that would kind of be the third phase of what we call the commerce market life cycle.
You don't have to look very far. Your customer is out there, moving at the speed of life, and expecting your brand to keep up with an unrelenting pace of change. See this brave new world through a whole new lens, one of analytics and intelligence, bringing your customers into sharper focus than ever before. You can see millions of customers on billions of devices as individuals with real wants and needs. At any given moment, you can not only understand what they're doing, but why. That's insight you can turn into action. Actions that are relevant, rewarding, and real-time with IBM Experience One. Achieve the business results that mean the difference between gaining customer loyalty and losing it. You have the power to connect with customers across all touch points, making every moment meaningful, not only for them, but for your business. When you engage each customer in context, everything changes. Now you can act on intelligence you couldn't even see before. And use that knowledge to tap into new opportunities, even empowering customers to co-create experiences with your brand. Intelligence made meaningful in real time, personalization done at scale, and customer engagement that's always on. Only one company has the power to help you rewrite the rules of engagement. One positive business outcome at a time, every time. IBM Experience One, Customer Engagement Solutions.
I know this is very American, but basically let's go and create some moments that matters. So any questions or anything? I'm done. I think I made it, right?
Tack så mycket Frank.
Tack.
Man kan få en